It's been 2 weeks since we've done this, and you said you wanted to recap. So we do 8 of these a week. The last time we did this was against Seattle. You went 5 for 8. I went 6 for 8. So I got a one pick lead on you right now, Grant. So maybe you can make it up here. Probably not, because I'm really good at this. All right. So over or under 350.5 total yards of offense for San Francisco.
Over.
Okay.
I'm going to say over. I think
even if Mitchell doesn't play.
Yeah, even if Mitchell doesn't play. After watching the film, I think Jeff Wilson Jr. is back to what he was. It took him a few games, but I'm not that impressed with Mitchell, man. I mean, he runs into the back of his blockers all day. And yeah, he's like relentless and he's impressive, but like Wilson has better vision. Wilson actually runs the daylight more. I think they're okay with Wilson at this point. I think their offense is fine. I don't. There's not. This Atlanta defense isn't super great. I mean, it's not like. Nah, I'm gonna say over.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna agree with you. So you're not. You have no chance at picking one up there, but
damn,
you still have some time. You still got some time. All right. Over or under 0.5 defensive pass interferences for the 49ers?
Over under 0.5.
So do they have one pass interference called against them this week?
I think so. I think Matt Ryan will force the issue more than Joe Burrow. I mean, I feel like the Bengals were trying to establish the run into the third quarter. And they once they fell down by 2 scores, they were like, oh, damn. I guess we got to throw at Ambry Thomas now. Oh, it worked. Oh, my God. Like, that's kind of what they did. I don't see, to me, this feels a little bit like the Seahawks game where the team sucks, but the quarterback is Hall of Famer. And so, over.
You know what was interesting about that Bengals game too, that they did that? Because I have a friend who's a big Bengals fan. I know that seems weird, but they do exist. Yeah. And he was so mad at who's their coach, Taylor?
Zach Taylor.
Yeah, Zach Taylor. Yeah, he hates Zach Taylor. He's like, that guy
just
never establishes the run.
Yeah.
Right. He gets his quarterbacks beat up. He hates them. Blah blah. And then the one game where they should have thrown the ball at will, they tried to run. That was the strangest game plan. Zach Taylor, I don't know what that was, man. But if he had attacked those corners early on, it would have been a disaster. The 49ers would have had to score 40 that game. There's no way they could have kept up.
That's the way I see it. And I think that's the Niners aren't going to get let off the hook like that. The Bengals were so unprepared. But it's like they're the new kids on the block. You kind of understand it. Probably next year. They're a year away. But damn, you had an opportunity to go to first place in your division and you did that? Yeah. Right. Pretender. You. All right, next over.
Burrow's really good, by the way.
He's good. He's like Matt Ryan. He's like Matt Ryan. Yeah.
I agree with you, by the way. They're going to have at least one pass interference. All right. So here's a little bit different way to look at it. This is not quite an over-under, but who are you picking? So Debo minus 10 yards versus Cordarrelle Patterson, total offensive yards from the line of scrimmage. So Debo is spotting Patterson 10 yards on this one. Who are you taking to have more yards from scrimmage, Debo or Patterson? Keep in mind that if Patterson has 9 less yards, he technically wins because he spotted 10. So
going Patterson.
Okay.
Going Patterson because Debo is not 100%, I don't think. And I think the Niners are trying to I think they're trying to limit him a little bit. And Patterson is the offense over there along with Pitts. So I think Patterson's going to get more opportunities, and I'm getting minus 10, so I'm going with Patterson.
Okay. I'm going to go with Debo on this one.
So good.
Here's a chance for you to catch up. I think you make a really good point there, and they do have a Thursday game coming up. I need Debo to go off. I know you don't play fantasy football, Grant, but I do, and it's my muddy league. I got $1,000 on the line if I can win this thing. So I need Debo to go off. So I'm going to ride with Debo to have at least more than 10 total yards more than Patterson. So I'm going with Debo on that one. There's a chance for you to catch up.
Sweet.
All right, Bosa. Over under 0.75 sacks in this game.
Over. He's automatic. Over. I'm not betting against Nick Bosa anymore. I tried that when they drafted him. No, not doing that anymore. Nope.
Okay. I agree with you. Bosa's going to go over on that one.
Over. Matt Ryan can't move.
No,
No.
yeah, Matt Ryan's. It's not going to be good. Yeah,
No.
Maybe I should have moved that to 1.5 or something.
I mean, Bosa got Burrow 3 times. One didn't count because of Ambry. His name is Ambry. He's not Thomas. It's just Ambry from now on. Ambry.
I nicknamed him the Eraser because he erases big plays for his own defense.
That was messed up.
But
right. Over for sure.
All right, I agree with you. All right, Kittle, 95.5 total yards from scrimmage. Under.
He's been speed up. They've been giving him too much action, and his knee. He didn't practice today. He's got a sore knee. I think they got to dial it back with Kittle a little bit. Otherwise, they're going to wear him out. They're going to burn him out before the playoffs. So he could, and I could be wrong, but I think they're going to dial it back a little bit.
Well, it's interesting that they are doing that and that he was seen limping towards the end of that game, because the last time we talked, Grant, I had brought up the fact that when I was at the Jacksonville game, he seems to limp an awful lot. He's always lumbering, no matter what. And I don't know if that's because of the calf, the knee, whatever. I just feel like this is kind of who he is for the rest of his career until he decides to shut it down at 30 because he's taken too much, right?
Ooh.
Like,
hey, I mean, Gronkowski did the same thing, right? And the thing about Kittle, he's 28.
He is.
He's a 24-year-old rookie. You don't think about that, but he's not young.
No, he's really not. And he's taken an absolute beating throughout his career. It's tough to play that brand of football for a long period of time. So we'll see what's going on.
I feel you, Mark. And I think that us both saying under means that Kittle's going to get it because he's an avid watcher of the show. Shout out, George.
Well, to be fair, you said under. I'm going over, actually. I'm going over on Kittle.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So there we go.
All right.
Jimmy G, 0.5 turnovers.
Oh!
You heard it here, folks. He went with the under. You thought it was going to be touchdowns, didn't you?
Over.
Okay.
Over. I think over. I don't know. I mean, it seems to me that the one side effect of not having Elijah Mitchell potentially is more passes. More passes. Because if you have Mitchell and Jeff Wilson Jr. and Debo, you can kind of do the run 40 time thing. But without it, I don't think you can. They haven't been able to. And once you get into the 30, 40 dropbacks for Jimmy, man, the interception, not the interception, but he's serving it up. It's coming. And whether Jesse Bates intercepts it or not is on Jesse, but it's not on you. It's on Bates. You know what I mean? It's like I feel like the opportunity is coming for Atlanta. I don't know what they're going to do with it, but I'm going to go over.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I should probably be a little bit more scientific with this because I don't know how many forced turnovers Atlanta has, but I will say this. Jimmy's going to serve it up on a silver platter. Will they take advantage of it? I'm going to go with no. I don't think he's going to turn the ball over, but he's definitely going to put up a couple. So we'll see if I'm wrong just because of that.
The best way to limit the interceptions is to not throw. And I don't think the Niners have that luxury like they did in November. I think you got to throw now somewhat. I mean, I think it's going to be more of a 1-to-1 ratio, which is balanced, but they're at their best when it's 2-to-1.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. Well, I mean, last week they needed every bit of those turnovers because without them, they weren't putting up any points.
No, they really weren't. And, in the second half, it was a lot of sack, near pick. I mean, that was bad. So,
yeah,
we'll see.
All right. Matt Ryan, over under 1.5 passing touchdowns.
Over. He's really good. I saw him last. I think he's really. My dad thinks he's a loser, but I saw him in Levi's 2 years ago, and I mean, pretty much, him and Julio Jones, the two of them won the game. And I know he doesn't have Julio in this game, but I think Kyle Pitts is. I'm a big Kyle Pitts fan, as you know. And Cordell Patterson like Debo light. So I don't know. I think 2. Yeah, 2 sounds about right.
Jimmy's going to have his hands full. Jimmy Ward is going to have his hands full with the rookie this time. I'm curious to see how that plays out. Him and Ward this is going to be an interesting matchup to watch.
Also, I don't know who's starting at corner. Like Dante Johnson still hasn't returned to the team. So I don't know. It could be Dante. It could be Ambry. First of all, Dante's not back. Ambry's still in the concussion protocol. So
I think you're really bad.
I don't know, but I'm going over. Going over.
All right. I'm going to go over as well.
Yeah.
The only thing that worries me is Patterson, because he could take a couple rushing from 30 yards out, a la Deebo Samuel, and really take away from that stat. That's the only concern that I have. He is
Niners
really
should have
good.
signed Patterson. Matter if they had both.
Remember when we talked about this
We
during the
talked about
offseason?
that. I love
Oh
Patterson.
my gosh.
Yeah.
Patterson and Debo. Oh my. Everything that they wanted out of Hurd and Debo, that could have been Patterson and Debo this year. Oh my gosh. Those two.
Back. It could have been the two of them. Yeah.
Wow.
Patterson's
That would have
good.
been incredible.
Yeah,
he is.
Really,
and he is cheap. And he was out there for a long time to be had.
And we said it. God, we're
Yes, we
so
did.
good, Jesse's, and smart, handsome.
Oh my gosh. All right. 33.5% third down efficiency for the 49ers, over or under? 33.5. They're sitting around that 30 to 35% every single week. So this is going to be close.
I'm going to go over. I think the Niners offense is going to have a good game. And Juwan Jennings is starting to get involved. That's a fourth guy you got to worry about. And Juszczyk is a fifth. I mean, really, they should be really good on third down. I know Tom Compton's kind of ruining things right now. And really, their pass protection on obvious pass downs is it's not just him either. Honestly,
So
it's
bad,
too. It's Brunskill
Yeah.
too. I'm just delaying here and stalling. What was the question again?
33.5% third down efficiency.
Over.
All right. I'm going to go over as well, but this one really is close because they're sitting right at that 33% pretty much every week. So I'm going to go over, but I don't feel good about it. So that's over under this week. That's the 8. I will make sure to recap next week that I'm still in the lead over Grant.
How many did we disagree on? 2 or 3?
Well, we disagreed on the offensive yards for Kittle. We disagreed on Debo versus Patterson spotting 10 yards. And we disagreed on the Jimmy G turnovers, I believe. So that's 3.
I'm going to be first place next week. Can't wait. Georgie says, I'm just saying you should be aware that those players on the Atlanta defense know the Kyle system pretty well. Yeah, some of them, were on that team. They run a pretty similar system over there right now. Just want to say that.